Hi everybody, it's Laura with Haunted Ramblings, and we're back in the kitchen today. And I figured, why not do this? I went through some of the cookbooks, and I found my Grandma Spry's bread recipe, so I'm going to share this bread recipe with you. It makes 4 loaves, so you can make just about anything from it. You can make rolls, you can make cinnamon rolls, you can make breadsticks. You can flatten it out and make pizza crust. Just about anything with this recipe. Again, it does take fast rising yeast. This is about 2 tablespoons or about 2 packets. 2 tablespoons of yeast, and it's a very simple and very easy and very forgiving recipe. You can't really goof it up too much, and you don't have to have a bread pan that's perfect. You don't have to have all the same size or same style. If you have bread pans that are black, bread pans that are silver, bread pans of different sizes, or even a casserole dish, anything like that, that'll work. And I'll show you here in a minute. So let's pause this and get things started. What you're going to need for this very first step, obviously, of course, is very clean hands. Again, this has been measured 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. And you're going to want a big cup for this. There's a reason. This is going to grow while you're doing things. And because this has been in the freezer, I've left it out to get warmed. So we're just going to toss that in there. That's 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. And in order to make that grow, we're going to add a tablespoon of regular sugar. And I have already measured this. This is hot tap water. Well, now it's not feeling quite so hot, so I hope it's warm enough. We will find out. We're just going to pour that in there. And this yeast is going to grow. And we're going to give it just a bit of a stir to give all that a bit of a start. And I have some yeast on the spoon. We're going to kind of get that off there because we want it to get active in there and get moving. And we don't want it clean. So while this is sitting and growing, because it's at the 1 cup mark, we're just going to set it aside. You're going to want your place to be warm when you do this. And then we're going to gather up the rest of the ingredients, and I'll be right back. Now for the next part, you're going to want 10 cups of flour, half a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of salt, and the salt is a must. You're going to put this in a bowl. Normally you would use like a metal bowl, but I've always had really good luck with my Tupperware bowls. And this is like their mega bowl. You're going to want plenty of room because you're going to need inside of the bowl. You're not going to have to lay this recipe out on a board and knead it. You're going to be able to knead this in the bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and add these ingredients. And again, we're going to need 10 cups. I'm going to use up what's in my container. And you don't have to sift this recipe. 1. I'm probably not going to be able to get, and it's probably going to be actually just a little shy of 10 cups, because 10 cups I found is a little too dry. Got 2 cups in there. Okay, so there is my 10 cups, and you're going to see flour flying here. That is my 10 cups of flour, and I also need, what did I do with my, hold on, let me go get it. Okay, I also need a tablespoon of salt. And because my tablespoon is all wet, I'm going to use 2 half tablespoons. And you need the salt because we are dealing with yeast. So there's 1 half and 2 halves of tablespoons of salt. You're going to think that's a lot, but we are dealing with 4 full loaves of bread. And then we're going to add a half cup of sugar. And we're going to add that. And we're going to give this a mix. Now, most bread recipes have you melt shortening or just mix in shortening, blend it in whole, you know, and have to go through the whole blending process. This recipe, you can melt the shortening if you really want to, or you can just add vegetable oil, which is what we're going to do. But before we add that, I want to show you what we're going to add first. And that is, I want to show you this. This is now doubled in its size. So we're going to add our yeast. We're just going to pour it in there. And we need 3 cups of water. And I'm going to go get that. And it's not cold water. It is lukewarm, like temperature, room temperature water. So I'm going to go get the 3 cups of water and I'll be right back. So here we have our 3 cups of water. And we're just going to add that right in there. I'm going to stir this all in. And I like this recipe because there's not a whole lot of, oh my gosh, we have to do this now, we have to do this now. It is a no bones about it, no worries recipe. The next thing we're going to add is, find the right cup, 1 half cup of vegetable oil. Oops, sorry. And it can be canola oil, but don't use olive oil, guys. So there's our 1 half cup. And if you wanted to use melted shortening, you could do that if you really want to. We'll do that and get these out of our way for the moment. And we're going to go ahead and from here, we're just going to mix this up. And I will show you the consistency here in a second. Okay, you can see this. It's kind of at that ugly stage, but you can see that the yeast is doing things. I've pretty much have gotten stuff up from the bottom. There's still a little flour at the bottom, and that's okay because remember, we're going to need right here in this bowl. We're not going to have to take it out or nothing, and that's the nice thing about this. This is going to need to set for 10 minutes. While this is sitting, I'm going to go ahead and clear off my table, get my pans prepared and ready, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and knead this for about 10 minutes. You'll be able to tell when it's had enough kneading because the bread will actually start to rise and hold together. And when you knead, you're going to bring everything from the bottom to the top, just like that. And then you're going to turn the bowl, pull from the bottom and push in, pull from the bottom, push in. That's why I like the whole bowl method, because you can literally pull and push and you're not adding that additional the additional flour that can make this actually two. And I actually think I could use a little more flour. You see how that's sticking really badly to my hands? Because I am in the lower states and it is humid, I may need a little more flour than the 10 cups. So hold on just a second. I'm going to go grab just a touch more. So as you can see, I just sprinkled a tiny bit of flour in here because it won't take much to take away what little bit of moisture was too much in here. And I need a bowl, whatever. Let me put a towel underneath here because my bowl is sliding too much. It's taking off on me. Okay. Much better. You're going to need this for about 2 minutes or 10 minutes. And this is all you're going to do. And I'll be back with you in just 2 seconds. Okay, guys, I don't know how to show you, but you can see that it's already starting to want to rise, and it's doing that while I'm kneading. So this is where we're going to stop. This is a good, probably 1/3 of the bowl. And with this recipe, you don't need to grease the top of it with oil or shortening or butter, and you don't need to grease your bowl. You do need to, and this is a clean towel, you need to cover this with a towel and keep it in a warm place. I've turned the heat up in my apartment so it's warm in here. So we're going to go ahead and cover this, and it stays covered for about an hour until this raises about half. Well, double, half again. So it will be double. It will start to push up against this towel or come close to it because this is a big bowl. So I will see you in about an hour my time, a split second in yours. Okay, I'm going to show you where the bread is at. It's been just a hair under an hour. And this is what you got. Now, this still has to be what they call punched down. You're just going to reach in and you're going to let all the air, I should have put a little flour on my hands. You're going to let all the air back out, and you're going to give it a quick little kind of squeezy knead. Because I've still got some flour here on the table from earlier. You're just going to give this a squeezy knead kind of to get the air pushed out. And then we are going to go ahead and put this in a second when I get the bread back off my fingers. It's not really necessary to do that, but I just want it off my fingers while I show you that it's not necessary to have the same size bowls and all that. So hang on a second. Okay, so this is one of the pans I'm going to use. It is a 9 by 9, I believe, cake pan. I've got some bread dough in there. My Grandma Spry, not my great-grandma Spry that the recipe came from, but my Grandma Spry always said that I didn't know how to lightly, I don't need that piece of bread dough in there, but she said I didn't know enough how to lightly grease. I always lightly spackled my pans. And it was kind of always a funny joke with her, but you know. I'm actually going to put 2 loaves in here. People panic about, oh, I don't have bread pans, I can't make bread. This will hold 2 of these. It's not quite as deep as you can see, but it will hold 2 loaves of bread or some rolls. And you don't have to have the same color, the same sizes. We're just going to go with what we've got. And I'm going to set them out of the way while I show you, sorry this is loud, what to do with this. Now we've punched this down, and I'm going to cut off a smaller piece because, like I said, well, this doesn't cut very well. So I'm just going to reach over and do like I normally would. And I'm going to make a small bunch. Normally you would cut that into 4 pieces and make 4 loaves. But I have this little pan. It is a, I believe, 6 by 3. I don't know, it's not marked. And you're going to want to take and make this, kind of want to make it look pretty. So you're going to want to roll it around, kind of make it so the top of it looks pretty. Roll it kind of in on itself and just make the top look pretty. You want the creased part underneath, and you're going to lay it in your pan, and you're going to want to tuck in your ends and make it look pretty. Now all this is still got to rise again for a second time for about maybe 45 minutes, if even that. Now this pan is going to take a bigger blob. I'm just going to call it a blob, okay? And I probably put a little more in that pan than it should have had. But hey, we're just going to go with it. And so I've got a good sized piece. This is probably about what would have been a quarter of what is in the bowl. And you're going to just work it so that it is about the size of that pan, so that it's got the right length. You want it kind of the same thickness. We're going to set it down in there. I probably could have made it a little bigger, but you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to take what's left in here, and I'm going to make 2 more loaves. As you can see, this piece is about the same size as I used for the small pan. And we're going to roll this. We're going to set it aside. I'm going to grab this piece. We're going to see how they compare, because I kind of want to make these 2 loaves about the same because they're going in the same pan. Like I said, this recipe is pretty easy to work with. So they're kind of about the same, and they're rising as quickly as I'm working with them. So I kind of want to get them in this pan. Now, we're going to, remember what I said? Don't worry about the fact that you don't have bread pans. We're going to put these 2 loaves in the same pan, guys. You can do this, okay? It's okay. We have 4 loaves of bread that's going to set here on the table. We're going to cover them. Some people would brush a little bit of oil or butter on top of them here. My grandmother never did. We're going to go ahead and cover these and let them rise for, I would say, half an hour, so that they rise above the pan. Once you start baking them, the rising will stop. This pan is rising really quickly. So, yeah, they're rising really good. So they probably don't need to rise a whole lot, a whole long time. So it will depend on how long. So I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm going to, tip it back down a little bit. Take this off. The bread has come to the top of the pan. This is a really deep one, so I didn't expect it to quite reach it. This is the one with the 2 loaves in it. These are dark pans, and this is a really thin tin pan. If you're using a really thin pan, like this one's a really cheap thin one, or dark coated pans, or glass, you want to turn the temperature down 25 degrees. So normally they would bake at 375, but because they're dark, or if you're using glass or a really thin pan, you want to do 350. And you want to bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes. A pan. This pan may take a little longer because we do have 2 loaves in it. This pan will probably come out a little bit quicker, but we're going to go ahead and put these in the oven. Now I have my clean towel laid out here because when I bring the bread out, we're going to roll them out onto this as soon as we bring them out on the oven. We are also going to put butter on them. If you want to have a crisp crust, you will butter them before you put them in the oven. If you want a softer crust, you butter them after you take them out of the oven. Alright, I'll be back to you when they're done. Okay guys, I've got the first 2 loaves out, and I'm going to turn these out. I've already put some butter on top. This is this loaf, and if you listen, I hope you can hear that. See how hollow that sounds? We'll set that aside. And this one also. You can hear that hollow sound. Now you'll notice the one not in the dark pan is not as dark. I'll be right back with the other 2 loaves. Okay guys, and here is the pan. Again, you hear the hollow. That is because they are well done. Flip them out. Let me get rid of this pan. And we'll get them turned back over. Hot, hot. And there you have it. I will get a knife and I will cut that so you can see that that's done all the way through. Okay, I'm going to use just a spatula because you only need to split down between the loaves like this, because they've already got a natural split. And then just crack them apart, and you'll see that they're steamy hot. And then once they're cracked all the way, we can get to the bottom. And there you have it. You can see that they baked all the way through on both loaves. That one, they're still very moist, very hot. And now we will let all 4 loaves cool. And they look yummy. Thanks for watching, everybody. The recipe will be below. I will also show you a copy of my mother's writing with the recipe on it at the very end. Everybody, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Don't panic about there not being any bread. You can make bread, rolls, pizza crust, whatever you would like. Anything with this recipe. Have a good day. Bye-bye.